wrestling fans, I'm going to tell you, I just don't know with this show anymore. I just don't. I am a fan of 30 years of WWE, and I just don't know with this show. Now, WWE tonight gave us a lot to talk about. Don't get me wrong. You all know what to do before I dive into it, and that's to become a subscriber today. Hit that little square box down below. Join me on my journey right here on YouTube. But they gave us a lot to talk about, wrestling fans. They did. 24/7 championship. Kofi Kingston looking like a blithering idiot in the opening segment, when he actually thinks it's a good idea that he gets inside the squared circle with Brock Lesnar. Moment with Bliss, leading to a 6-woman tag team matchup. The Miz, Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns, all that plus so much more happened on Monday Night Raw tonight. It gave us a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. Going into Super Showdown. Super Showdown that is equivalent or better than WrestleMania. Now I don't know about all that, but that's what WWE is booking it as. Now, I'm going to start with that. And Super Showdown is being booked as that, and is being booked with stars to make it seem like it is better than WrestleMania, okay? Yeah, Goldberg, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar is going to be there, probably facing Seth Rollins in a one-on-one encounter in an actual matchup, not just a quick run-in match. But does that mean when Super Showdown comes 2 weeks from Friday that we are going to see an epic pay-per-view, one that we are all going to remember? No. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to be watching it. I'll be doing a review on it. But that doesn't mean we're going to remember it afterwards. Kofi Kingston, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins opens the show. Brock Lesnar comes down with Paul Heyman, and they start spewing that he's beast in the bank, and he can cash in at any time, and blah, blah, blah. And he ruined everybody's dream last night, and all this garbage that none of the wrestling fans want to hear. Not a single one of us want to hear anymore, because unless you are someone that does not watch the product on a weekly basis, you do not want Brock Lesnar in the main event spot anymore. You don't want him in the Universal Championship title picture anymore. Period. I have not seen one comment, heard from anybody. I'm done. I'm over it. Some of you wrestling fans might enjoy him being there. Those are the ones that don't watch it on a regular basis. So, of course, you wouldn't care if the title's on TV or not. You wouldn't care who's wearing the gold. Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins comes out. Look, Kofi, the biggest thing that stuck out with Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston's promo tonight really was what Kofi Kingston said, and about how if Brock Lesnar should cash in on anybody, it should be him, meaning Kofi Kingston, because he's a fighting champion and he's trying to cement his legacy and blah, 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 and he wants to defeat Brock Lesnar. And Vince, you are stupid for making him look that way. Because now you're WWE champion. Which, by the way, as of right now, still is the biggest championship, in my estimation, that you have in your company, because the Universal Championship has not been around the waist of Seth Rollins long enough for him to make it credible. You're not going to make that title credible just 1 month. WWE Championship is still the highest crown. And you're making that champion look like a blithering idiot. Lucha House Party gets retribution of some sorts over Lars Sullivan tonight. How much sense does this make? Lars Sullivan does not get a beat down on the Lucha House Party. Are we watching Monday Night Raw, or are we watching Superstars? Or are we watching the main event? Are we watching Monday Night Raw? Or are we watching a house show? Someone tell me. I would love to know. This is garbage. Absolute garbage. Shane McMahon, Roman Reigns, The Miz, Drew McIntyre. I'm just going to be blunt and honest with you. Okay? The Miz and Shane McMahon, they said that they are done tonight. I'll believe it when I see it. Shane, The Miz, Shane, and Roman Reigns all have separate rivalries right now. I'll believe it when I see it. So, here is what would get me a little bit more interested in this rivalry. Shane McMahon actually puts a stable together. He already has Drew McIntyre doing some bidding, Elias doing bidding, Bobby Lashley did a little beat down 1 week, if you go back and actually remember that. Why don't they all come out with him at one time? All at once. Week after week after week. And they name it. They give that stable a name. And Shane comes out with them. And they beat down whoever he's in a rivalry with. I might be a little bit more invested in that. If you really look at what they did in the Attitude Era, that's what they did. Vince McMahon was in the rivalry with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and the rest of them. The corporation was just doing his bidding. Tried to do something like that with the Shane McMahon stuff. 24/7 Championship. What do you think that is? Now, tonight we saw it just give the jobbers some TV time. But This is the PG era's Hardcore Championship. Okay? That's all this is. The 24/7 Championship, or title, or whatever you want to call it, is the Hardcore Championship of the PG era. Remember the rules? Back when the Hardcore title was kind of winding down, it was defended 24/7. Anywhere. It was defended anywhere. Anybody could take it anytime as long as there's a referee and all that jazz. What's the rules of the 24/7? The only problem is they named it the 24/7 championship. They did all this stuff with it. They gave it all this hype. They named it the 24/7 championship. And then they said it can only be defended the last hour of Monday Night Raw. Which tells me you are just trying to garner ratings on the third hour with that title. That's what that tells me. Whatever. One thing that kind of surprised me tonight was Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross picking up the victory. Lacey Evans bailed on the Iconics. I really thought Lacey Evans would get the upper hand again in this matchup. She got the upper hand at Money in the Bank by helping Charlotte win. It was kind of 50-50. She lost the match, helped Charlotte win. I thought she would help get a victory tonight. Thought she would get a victory by Alexa Bliss bailing on them. Didn't happen. I'm surprised. Whatever. And other than that, we didn't really have anything on Monday Night Raw other than the revival being the Usos, which really surprised me. That was out of left field. Ricochet lost to Cesaro. This doesn't surprise me a bit. Wrestling fans, this is WWE. This is not AEW. This is not TNA or Impact Wrestling. This is not New Japan. It's not. This does not surprise me a bit. Ricochet, out of Aleister Black and Ricochet, will be the one that gets the fall. He will get taken down to the gutter by Vince McMahon. You watch. You watch. There is no saving Ricochet. He will have a losing streak. There's nothing. And I'm getting out of here because that was Monday Night Raw. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, remember to do everything that I mentioned at the beginning of this review, which is to give me a big thumbs up and to give me a comment down below. And also to become a subscriber today, amongst everything else. And until I see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live review, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.